Welcome to a brand new COVID-19, redefining customer buying channels and in-store operations. This session is powered by Simple Retail. My name is Surabhi Khosla. I'm Managing Editor for Images Group, and I'll be moderating the webinar today. As India moves to a new normal post-COVID-19, consumers will move from traditional in-store shopping to click and collect, home delivery, and touchless in-store experiences. To win in this new normal, retailers must set up engagements across all channels quickly and efficiently, building upon their existing systems without creating standalone or disjointed apps. Now, the need of the hour is a next generation mobile based seamless shopping experience built to engage consumers across all channels. And this is what Appalexis Technologies does. Appalexis is a 15-year-old ERP implementation and SAP co-innovation partner, which is focused exclusively on the retail industry. They have launched a technology called Simple Retail, which is powered by artificial intelligence and includes features which optimize and support store operations, such as smart product recommendations, customer loyalty, clienteling, and much more. It can be quickly and seamlessly integrated with most leading ERP solutions and applications, including over 50 pre-built SAP interfaces. Now, before I introduce the panelists to you, we present to you a very short video on Simple Retail.
Consumers are buying more from digital channels, curbside, delivery, and buy online, pickup in store. The new normal after COVID-19 has accelerated this change. The question is, are you prepared to offer your consumers an experience that is well adjusted to these changing times? Enter Simple Retail, an innovative platform to transform your offline retail investments as a strategic asset to offer your consumers an omni-channel experience. What are the solutions offered by Simple Retail? Consumer engagement solution. It allows consumers to shop from their homes, schedule curbside pickup, home deliveries, and buy online, pickup in store. It enables in-store touchless shopping experience via self-checkout. Store Operations Solution. The Store Operations Solution enables inventory management, systematic pick and pack with consumer collaboration, home delivery, customer service with endless aisle, and mobile point of sale. Back office solution. The Loyalty Management module provides a 360-degree customer view with customer segmentation and targeted offers, whereas the Analytics module to deliver insights to store management via data visualization and KPI dashboards. Join hands with Simple Retail to become the next-gen retailer of the new normal world.
Thank you. Now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce our speakers for today. First, we have with us Mr. Kumar Nitesh. He's CEO, Reliance Footprints, Trends Footwear, Reliance Retail. He's an enterprising and consumer-focused business leader with over 2 decades of experience and the ability to build new businesses and forge loyalty with clients, vendors, and external business partners. We then have Mr. Madhav Nishtala. He's Director, Digital Transformation for SAP. Madhav has more than 20 years of professional experience in pre-sales, consulting, and project management with a focus on retail, as well as hands-on experience in the retail industry. At SAP, he partners with retailers to reimagine business models, products, business processes, as well as reimagining work in the digital economy. And finally, we have with us Mr. Neetu Thomas. He's COO, Simple Retail, Appalexis Technologies. He's a man who wears many hats, and among them are business strategy definition, complex deal structuring, solution and service offering development, as well as leadership team building. Now, before I throw open the floor, just one housekeeping rule. If you have any questions during the presentation and the discussion, please type them in the question box in the panel. I'll take them up in the end when we have time for audience questions. So let's start with Nitesh. Nitesh, the world of retail is changing at a very accelerated pace. It was already very accelerated. And now with the coming of COVID-19, there have been very drastic changes. In fact, according to an Ernst & Young survey, 60% of the buyers in the country believe that the pandemic could alter the way that they shop. Now, what are the trends that you have observed in the customer buying behavior in this new normal?
So you have to take, when it started, the pandemic started in March end. That time consumer psyche, and now consumer psyche is little different. If I tell you the fear was more in March, April, and pandemic or COVID was less. Danger was less and COVID was less, but fear was too much. Today, if you go and see on the street, the fear is less and the COVID or this pandemic disease spread is more. You know that 100,000 people are every day in India is getting infected, right? Okay, the death rates are very, very low. But if you go to the market now, fear is not there. Consumer definitely, when it started, we started, I think, opening India from 4th of May. We started seeing that social norms become a very, very important factor. Hygiene and health safety for the consumer was the priority. Consumer do not wanted to go to the market. Everything was online, and or delivery at the home. But now if you see the situation has changed, a lot of 2-tier, 3-tier market, the businesses has reached to 90 plus level. Almost somewhere is a LFL growth or 100% they are doing in 2-tier, 3-tier city. If you see the Eastern Belt now with the Puja, the business is almost everybody is achieving 80, 90 or 100%. Everybody's in the market, malls are getting footfalls. In spite of, you see the COVID is improving day by day, not reducing. And we see every day there's a report, it will go up, November will be 200,000, January to March, India will have so many people infected. But I think consumer are now want to shop. First 3-4 months, definitely online business was very, very high. All the consumption was happening in online, offline was very low, but I'm seeing offline is coming back in the business. Consumer psyche is still they want to touch, feel, and then they want to buy without taking too much risk. A consumer like me, I still want to touch, feel, and buy. So there's a lot of traditional way of business happening that they are calling you on the phone, they are showing you the product, there are PDF design has been emailed to you or WhatsApp to you. WhatsApp become a very, very important, I will say, a medium of doing business. So consumer definitely going back to the store, but they are too many people I'm hearing, I'm seeing in the store, they are coming, but they want to keep their health, safety, and definitely the social norm they want to maintain.
Those are some very interesting observations. Neetu, would you like to add something to that? What are your thoughts?
Certainly I agree to what Nitesh was talking about. The move to online was very big in the beginning, right? Certainly that the predictions are that this is a change in consumer behavior, right? People are certainly going to go back to the store, but the acceleration of that digital buying is something that will linger on, right? So you will have more people who have gotten used to some convenience. It will linger on. Now, not to say that physical stores are not important. Certainly that's not the case at all, right? Like Nitesh clearly articulated, people are coming back into the stores, but they want a different experience now, right? They probably want more touchless shopping experience where you don't necessarily have to mingle. The hygiene factor that Nitesh talked about is important, that they know that the store that they are visiting is hygienic, and that hygiene has to be visibly sometimes in their face, right? Saying that, hey, we are taking care of the hygiene. Some of the brand loyalties have changed. I think especially during the early days of COVID, there was an opportunity for some of the brand loyalties to change as well. So retailers had to do more to make sure that they can provide experiences even in online that can retain consumers. So I think a coexistence of physical and digital is something that is emerging, and hopefully something that will stay on for some more time to come.
Look, if I'll add one or two more points, definitely click and collect, delivery to home, WhatsApp business, these kind of things are increasing. But if you ask me, click and collect is working. I wanted to buy a cycle. I bought online, but I wanted to go and see and then collect. So a retailer gave me a time where he said, nobody will be there. You can come, we are only inviting 5-6 people at a time. So this kind of things are working. A lot of retailers have created a different setup for click and collect. So you buy online, come to the store, you don't have to go into the store. Outside the store, I have a collection center, you can go and collect. So these kind of things are coming and customers are liking this kind of new things. I have myself bought some cloths through WhatsApp calling. I selected and it has been delivered to my home. That is happening. But again, what I said that in 2-tier, 3-tier cities, if I leave metro 6-7 cities, Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Chennai and all, a lot of footfalls are coming back. And a lot of retailers are back with 75-80% kind of LFL business overall, where 2-tier, 3-tier cities are doing 100 plus. Definitely metros are still low. So average, I am saying 75-80% people are back with the business till now.
So are you saying that there has been very little impact of the new normal on the way retail companies operate?
No, I'm not saying it's a little impact, but all the retailers have found a different way of reaching to the consumer. Your telecalling, your video calling kind of business has improved. All the retailers who were not on online, gone on online, there they have taken some business from there. But people are definitely last 6 months become a little fed up and everybody is trying to go out. I have seen, I tried to book a hotel and all in some places on 2nd October, everything was full. Nothing I got near Bangalore, I stay in Bangalore nearby, nothing I got where I can go and stay 3 days. So all the tourist places near Bangalore, Ooty, Coorg, here, there, everything was booked and is booked. If you start seeing from now to December rates, is almost pre-COVID rates everywhere. So people are not, people are a little fearless, I will say. There are people like me and you, more fear. I'm with more fear, to be honest. I'm still not going out for shopping. But there are people who are going out and shopping happening 80% of pre-COVID.
So how are companies looking to achieve these top lines and bottom line goals?
So
along
people,
with providing...
as I said, people started new things. A lot of traditional way of things started happening. Merchandise on wheels, going to the society and society the track and showing you the product and selling. A lot of societies, companies are going and approaching, taking their community hall and displaying for 2 days, 3 days product. Those kind of things are happening. And I will say the biggest business is happening through WhatsApp. So you send to the customer your PDF designs in a PDF file. You ask customer, if take time, you call. He will say, okay, show me this design. On video, from store, you can show the design. They are selecting. They are telling, okay, I will come 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, or they are telling, come to my place. Right? This is one thing happening. Another thing is now what is happening, the offline stores are also becoming a dark store for online businesses. Earlier, online deliveries were happening only from the DCs or from the places. Now, a lot of companies are added their all stores as on online. All the inventory of stores are now live on online. So if I have a order in certain area of certain city, I can deliver from nearby store, right? So now offline staff manager or management of store is also doing the job of not only the offline customer, online customer also. Now you have to not inventory also, you don't have to keep only on the consumption of what customer is coming in, what online orders you are getting. Also you have to keep the inventory, and your staff has to learn how to pack, how to send, how to courier. All these things are happening. In terms of product innovation, a lot of innovation is happening. Washable shoe has come. A lot of spray has come for the shoes or apparel. A lot of companies said, "Ki boss, whatever is the trial has happening with the customer, we are not using those product next 48 hours. There is a quarantine place in the store where used inventory or trial inventory has been kept in the store, and then only after 48 hours, after 72 hours, people are using." So a lot of innovation is happening, Survi.
So what you're saying is that with every crisis comes an opportunity, right?
100%.
So moving to Neetu, Madhav, I'll come to you in a minute. Neetu, what kind of opportunities do you think lie ahead for retailers? How can they bring consumers back in store, in motion? Nitesh is saying 80% of the buying is already back, you know.
Yeah, as Nitesh said, a lot of physical stores still have a lot of significance, right? He talked about how they are repurposing some of the physical stores to be dark stores in the time to fulfill this need that is happening. There is clearly an increase in that move to online, right? And that we all expect that behavior, because people have gotten used to it, that behavior, that ease of buying is going to continue. Then there are a lot of studies that have been done by Gartner, McKinsey, BCG, all of them talk about the fact that this behavior is going to continue. Now, people will choose their place of buying, right, depending on a lot of factors. Some of it depends on the type of product that you're buying, right? If you want to touch and feel a product, you probably book an appointment and go and see the product, or you go like you usually do if you are more carefree. Or if you, it depends on the familiarity with the brand. If it's a brand that you trust, you probably will order online. It depends on how much time you have. How quickly do you want the product? Online may take a day or more. If you want quickly, you may do a curbside, or you will just walk into the store and buy. And their perception of risk. If I go into the store, will I be impacted, right? So all of these will drive which channel they will pick. So one thing is clear, that retailers will have to adopt more digital channels, and that's one thing. But at the same time, these digital channels will have to coexist with the physical in-store shopping, and how people can design consumer experiences in a norm like this is what is going to probably create those winners and losers. And if you look at the data from across the world, you can clearly see that there are winners and there are losers in this new paradigm. If you look at the US market, for example, where I spend quite a lot of time, we can see Walmart, Instacart, Amazons of the world growing their sales rapidly during the pandemic, especially the digital sales, especially things like curbside and all of that. But does this mean that only the big players can succeed? Certainly not. Or does this mean that only the e-commerce players will succeed? Absolutely not, right? We believe that the players who can combine their strengths in the physical brick and mortar and add digital channels to supplement that, coexist together, will have the long-term success. But this does require you to reimagine how you do business. Nitesh was giving a few examples of how people are smartly reimagining processes, right? It is important for retailers to build consistent, superior, and their own branded experience in these digital channels, right? In the physical channel, you would put a lot of effort in branding the consumer experience. How do you do that in a manner that is consistent when both online and brick and mortar coexist is something that I feel will be very important. They also have to do things efficiently, right? A lot of times digital channels are great from a revenue standpoint, but can you deliver the same margins as well? So you'll have to deliver that using hyper efficiency. And again, I think that technology, being a technologist, I feel that technology will play a huge role in even driving up some of these efficiencies, in addition to all the reimagination of how you do business and operations.
So you're saying omni-channel basically, Neetu, right? Um,
And certainly, omni-channel will be the way to go. That people will use many different type of experiences, and as a retail brand, you have to offer them and meet them where they would like to shop.
So you were talking about the US market. Now, according to this McKinsey report, US market has achieved 10 years of e-commerce growth in just 3 months of COVID. And a similar spike has been witnessed in the Indian retail segment as well. Major brands have seen their online sales almost doubling during this COVID period. So, what do you think is the reason for this? I mean, apart from, of course, COVID and not being able to go out, what are the other approaches that retailers are taking to double their sales? Mobile apps, is that the way forward?
Mobile apps, I would say mobile app, a standalone mobile app is not a solution at all, right? That's if you don't streamline the operations, if you don't reimagine your businesses, if you don't clean up the things that are happening back end, putting a mobile app is akin to the saying putting lipstick on a pig, right? So it's you really have to look at operations first and where you meet the consumer. So for example, if you are why a standalone mobile app, which is that needs to be connected to everything else that is happening in technology in your with your ERP, with the data that you have of the consumer. All of that has to work together to provide that experiences that I was talking about. Now, one example is if you have a mobile app, right? A lot of firms have either got a mobile app or they have got an online portal where you can go and order things. But to deliver that seamless consumer experience, you need to create collaboration, right? If you want to say, for example, if you have a product that is not available and you want to offer substitution for that product to the consumer, and it's a growth, for example, in grocery, right? That happens quite a bit, that you may not have the right SKU that the consumer may have exactly asked for. You want to offer a substitution, you have to collaborate with the consumer throughout that journey. So a standalone app, it's very difficult to do that. You need to handle complaints, you need to handle returns. If the customer just does choose to walk into the store, you need to offer that touchless experience. So a lot of limitations of just relying on a UI to solve your problems, right? Secondly, I talked about this earlier a little bit, that bottom line is eroded by inefficiencies in fulfillment, in store, in inventory management when you go online. Now, retailers need to reimagine, and re-engineer their processes. They will have to have efficient pick-pack operations. Nitesh talked about the fact that, you need to put up people who can do pick-pack operations, but you have to do that efficiently. So you have to allocate work in a smart way between what they do on a regular basis to what they do in pick-pack to make sure that this is optimized. You also have to look at your inventory management. Nitesh also touched upon the fact that now you have put inventory in the store online, right? So you need to have near real-time inventory visibility, which a lot of stores have not been able to reach that paradigm. So you need to fix that. You also need to make inventory in one store visible to other stores, so that you can provide concepts like endless aisle and all, right? Where if you run out of stock in one store, you can fulfill it from another store. So standalone app, very difficult to do that. Secondly, also, if you look at how do you drive incremental sales? Nitesh talked about the fact that people want to touch and feel the product, right? When you are in online, you don't do that. How do you grow top line and drive incremental sales? So you need to use technology to enable you to do that. You need data to do that. So you need to understand buying behavior in these channels, and then offer say smart product recommendations, or you offer your loyalty program needs to adapt if you are going to go online. So all of these are things that are needed, and I believe that we will see a shift in how business is done to adopt to some of these paradigms.
So, well, there we have it. That is the technology and the processes of it. But Madhav, tell me, what are the investments that are necessary to create this technology environment, which will allow retailers to thrive, not just during COVID, but beyond as well?
Like, digital, when we say digital and people are moving online, the important point to note is that this is where like people before me have said, there will be a stickiness. People are going to, it's not post-COVID, people are not going to move away from this. The second aspect of with an app, you would want look at the end-to-end process. Today, customer is not, you're not only competing with other retailers, you're competing with largely with a lot of online channels. And therefore, if the orders are not fulfilled, if you don't, or if the fulfillment experience is not good enough, he's not going to come back. A lot of this is about, like Nitu said, what happens outside the store. Retailers were talking about in-store experience earlier. Now we're talking of experience with the order. When he may want to do a store pickup, he may want to get it delivered, but the entire process and how seamless it is will take your customer away if he's really not happy with the way it's being handled. We at SAP are also talking about, with partners like Simple Retail, talking about how this fulfillment now becomes seamless. Things like supply chain efficiencies, things like, is the stock available? Things which were extremely internal to retailer today are now exposed. And how does the entire process work? There are things that we are now seeing. Retailers are, for example, playing around with layouts. We now have a delivery zone where people can come in, pick up and move out. With safety concerns, with concerns on touch, people don't want to spend too much time in the store. That's one area where, with while there is an app, there's also an app for the store associate where they can pick up stock. They know where to go, what was expected, when it is coming, keep the kit ready, and a quick in and a quick out is what today everybody is appreciating. And that's one area where technology plays an immense role. Another example of how technology can help you in these times is, think of a simple situation where you would want to look at what does the role of the store be? How do we empower the store associates? I've had situations where we've seen retailers looking at and helping retailers buy online is also something what the retail store staff are now doing. You're doing WhatsApp video calls, talking to customers, what they would normally do when a customer visits a store. The entire sales process has now gone video. So they're using technology today to give them the in-store experience of how they would have shopped when they were in the store. We're trying to bring that into an online frame and get them to work with a view of, yes, you're not visiting the store, but the experience remains the same, the service levels remains the same, and the merchandise remains the same. A third aspect where where technology is now playing a role is that in the experience, there are newer parameters. Parameters like, is the app working? The app is crashing. There's technology, there is stability, and all of this today impacts your brand and impacts your experiences with the brand. So what is needed is an integrated, scalable backbone, which can then work seamlessly. There has to be zero friction in an online buying mode, because the customer is not going to blame the technology. He's not going to blame your ISP for low bandwidth. He just going to go away from the brand. And that's the newer risk that the retailers are now talking about. And that's something they have to be aware of. Things like these, while technology was always a great lever for retailers, in these times, there are newer dimensions to technology adoption, which most retailers have to look at.
Okay, so how can retailers inject innovation in order to retain consumers in their existing omnichannel infrastructure?
In most situations, what we have seen in the last 6 months is we've had a lot of inquiries from retailers, a lot of retailers looking at going online, more so because while retail was a channel for them for a long time, today the digital was a channel for them for a long time. Now digital becomes the sole driver. There is a very clear shift in the way you buy online as the primary mode versus go to a store, buy, and then maybe surf online or do a supplemental purchase online. With that power equation changing, a lot of views, a lot of technology adoptions in these areas have moved to digital. So people are now looking at, I have customers who've done, as Nitesh pointed out, a WhatsApp integration, which is an ability to do an entire order, placing of the order, looking at a catalog on a WhatsApp, to the point of tracking the entire order. Because now today it's also about fulfillment. Where is my order? When will it come? All of these are scenarios and inquiries that the customer is now engaging with. And all of this in the existing infrastructure, people in a matter of few weeks, in some cases in a few days, people have been able to turn this around. We've had technology where people have used their existing platforms to appointments, because when the lockdown was in a phase where they were moving from red to green to zone, and there were the areas of digital queuing and appointments that were being set up, a lot of these apps have now morphed into moving into giving appointments to customers available at this point in time. I have shopped with retailers where I've done WhatsApp video calls. They've helped me select the product and then take the entire process of payment offline into an online mode. Digital wallets today, I don't think I've been to an ATM in the last 6 months. All of it is now through a digital wallet in any of the forms. All that are areas where, and all of these have implications on the back end, how the operations are run, because these are newer modes. Retailers have now get to use in multiple modes of payment. Most of my inventory today in the warehouse is also belonging to a customer, and that's a new thing, because even in the supply chain, there are now customer-owned stock, because people are now looking at catalogs, and when they look at catalogs, they have an option to place an order, and it's not necessarily the stock that you have in your store. It could be stock in transit, it can be stock in your store, and to be able to manage the delivery times to the customer promise, and put that in a view of multiple customers in multiple stores. That's a very complex equation. That's where technology comes into play for retailers to help them deliver to the promise.
Neetu, what's your take on this? And in the same way, Wayne, would you like to tell us a little bit about Simple Retail?
Yeah, I think I completely agree with what Madhav said. Right, when it comes to technology, especially, sometimes less is more. Right, so you need you may start with a WhatsApp, right? But if you really want connected experience where you can promise somebody that it's not a catalog and you deliver and you don't have the goods available to fulfill that promise, right? How do you really make sure that that you can you can fulfill the promise that you're making to the customer? Two, how do you not run out of stock? So many the important aspect as we move forward, right, as we become more mature, it's good to start in some place, right, where you can still fulfill the orders. As the industry moves forward and as it matures, you would see that we need fewer applications which are more tightly integrated, which talk to each other, right? ERPs like SAP will play a huge role in that. And our attempt with Simple Retail has been to be tightly integrated into an application like SAP. For example, with SAP, we have built more than 50 interfaces to make sure that that seamless experience that we are talking about for the consumer is enabled, and you can make the right promise that you can meet, you can deliver that with efficiency, and you can provide that truly branded, branded for the retailer type of consumer experience in the long run. So Simple Retail was essentially built over the last 3 years. Really, our vision was that the brick and mortar retailer would start adopting digital and be able to fight the big e-commerce players or the big stores out there, right? So that was the goal for building the platform, for them to have a coexistence, and COVID truly accelerated that adoption for us, and the platform landed into that limelight where it really became the need of the hour. I think you will get more of a view of the application as we look at the demo that we'll be having shortly.
Thank you for answering all the questions so patiently. So as Neetu said, we will just have a small demo on exactly what Simple Retail has to offer. Over to you.
Thank you, Surabhi. We'll start with the Simple Retail demo. So good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining into the webinar. I am Shubham Agarwal, the product manager for Simple Retail. As Neetu had already given a brief background about Simple Retail, Simple Retail is a next generation mobile-based intelligent store solution, which is built to provide a seamless shopping experience across different customer channels. The solution is suitably configured with in-store operations and back office channels with a strong analytical layer that can be accessed across different stakeholders of a retail company like store associates, customer associates, store managers, and business heads. The solution can be used across different format and industries of retails. For example, supermarkets, hypermarkets, grocery stores, apparels, furniture, consumer electronic stores, among others. So as we can see on the screen, Simple Retail provides a branded experience across channels like curbside pickup, home delivery, and in-store touchless shopping experience. And with specific for today's demo, we will see how a grocery store manages their business with Simple Retail. We will see Radhika as the consumer and Gaurav as the sales associate during the demo. And what you will see is a day in the life for Radhika to place a click and collect order for her grocery shopping list. And as Nitesh had mentioned initially that there has been a significant rise in number of click and collect orders, and we'll try to demo the same in a Simple Retail demo today. So this is the home page for Simple Retail's consumer app, which can be customized with any of the brand's identity. So let's go back to Radhika. Radhika has developed an affinity for cooking, and she wants to order vegetables for her favorite recipe. So she adds a kg of tomato. Also, she adds a kg of capsicum to her cart. She remembers that the recipe would also require milk, hence she adds a packet of milk to her cart as well. So she goes to her cart to place the order, and she suddenly remembers that she has a celebration at her house tomorrow evening, hence she wants to order a bucket of ice cream. So she goes back to the home page and adds a Bluebell vanilla ice cream to the cart. And then she's back to the cart again. In case the desired brand of milk packets are not available, that is a realistic situation, Radhika has the flexibility to choose an alternate brand by using the swap feature. So here Radhika is shown a list of similar brands which could be swapped in case the original brand of milk packet is not available. And she chooses her favorite brand and then she clicks on done. So she can check the total number of item count and the amount that needs to be paid and clicks on the pay button. And here she's presented with multiple shopping options to complete her order. The point to note here is that retailers need to respond to the changing demands of customers with innovative solutions while maintaining profitability and delivering a truly personalized shopping experience across customer channels. And with Simple Retail, a customer like Radhika can choose to place an order using different channels like click and collect, curbside pickup, deliver to home, and shop at store. Now, since Radhika plans to meet her friend on the way back from the store, she chooses the curbside pickup option. And she would like to pick up the order for tomorrow morning, and she chooses Thursday. And Radhika is an early riser, so she chooses the 8 a.m. slot. And she clicks on continue for payments. And on the payment screen, Radhika would have ideally different choices of making a payment, like credit card, debit card, wallets, UPI, loyalty points, and etc. But since the credit card is already authenticated with the app, she pays using her card. And now her card is being authenticated. She's making a payment and will have a QR code generated along with the pickup instructions, all the details related to the pickup. So you have just seen that Radhika created an order on the Simple Retail app with a very good user experience. And this specific experience can be configured with your organization's branded app. Unlike other third-party apps, like messaging apps and e-commerce aggregators, Radhika is being offered a superior branded experience with the ability to integrate with your physical store that would give you a competitive edge in the market, enhance your customers' loyalty, and increase your store's revenue. Now, as the order has been already placed, let's go back to Gaurav, the store associate whom I introduced initially. So he should receive the order, pick up the products from the respective shelves of the store, pack that order, and deliver the order to Radhika. So let us see what Simple Retail has to offer Gaurav. So this is the mobile application for Gaurav. He can see the orders that have been assigned to him. And these orders have been assigned on the basis of Simple Retail's intelligent pick scheduling algorithm. In fact, Simple Retail would also help Gaurav to find aisles on which the products are located. By browsing through the planogram feature, he can have a look at floor-wise look at the different aisles. This will in turn reduce the time of pickup for Gaurav, and this will in turn improve the efficiency of the store. So let's go back to the order list. Here, Gaurav selects the toggle buttons to choose the orders that he should pick. Then he clicks on the pick on the top, followed by his individual items. He picks up all the items from the shelves using the planogram, and then he proceeds ahead. Followed by, he will then choose a location for staging of all these products, and then he clicks on the submit button. Now, a digital label has been generated, which the Gaurav can use to process the order. So now Gaurav has completed picking the order. The next part of the process is to understand how Radhika and Gaurav interact with each other through Simple Retail's mobile application. And to visualize this, I would need to toggle between their mobile applications. Now Radhika is ready to drive to pick up her order. So she takes out her mobile application and she wants to signal the store that she is on her way so that Gaurav can do the necessary preparations for delivering the order. So she clicks on the check-in button and starts driving the store. Now Gaurav receives a mobile notification. Now Radhika can also use the map feature, which is built inside the Simple Retail app, to directly navigate to the store. Now let's go back to Gaurav. He receives the mobile notification. He opens the app, but before delivering the product, Gaurav must do a final step, which is picking up the Bluebell vanilla ice cream from the Radhika's order list. And since it's a just-in-time pickup, it needs to be picked up only when Radhika is coming to the store. So to do that, Gaurav will click on the checked in orders. He will view the order details. So all of the orders will be shown here. Also, he can see the products which needs to be picked up just in time. So we can see on the top, the just in time pickup. And then he picks up that specific Bluebell ice cream bucket. He clicks on the pick button, chooses the freezer area, the location, and then clicks on the submit button. Meanwhile, Radhika has arrived at the parking lot. So we go back to Radhika's mobile app, and she again wants to signal that to Gaurav that she has arrived. So she clicks on I am here button. She will mention the parking lot number, the car model, along with the color of the car, so that Gaurav can easily identify Radhika in the parking lot. Now, Gaurav opens the mobile application since Radhika has signaled that he has already come in a specific parking lot. So Gaurav filters the orders by customer arrived status to get Radhika's order on her screen. So these are the 4 products that Radhika had ordered. So now Gaurav can see these order details. Gaurav gets the confirmation from Radhika, and by clicking on the deliver button, Gaurav delivers the product to Radhika. So this completes the process of click and collect capability within Simple Retail. So let's go back to Radhika once again. Apart from curbside pickup and home delivery, Radhika can even schedule an appointment with the store, like the way Nitesh and Madhav had discussed during our webinar. She can also create a wish list where she can scan a product inside the store using the mobile app. So these are the 3 products she has kept in her wish list. She can add it and she can order these products from the comfort of her home. Also, she can go to order history and she can schedule an order which needs to be frequently purchased with the help of scheduled order feature. So she can make a recurrent purchases of these frequently ordered products. But considering the paucity of time, I might not be able to demo it on this webinar, but we can certainly do it offline on a one-to-one basis. Now that you have seen the role of a customer and a store associate, let us see the store manager's dashboard where the governance and operations of the entire store can be controlled. So now we will switch to the store manager's view and we will log in as a store manager. So this is the view of store manager's dashboard. And on the left-hand side of the main menu, the store manager can scroll over to POS to see POS functions, then in-store capabilities, followed by CRM, which includes customer and loyalty management, which will come back to it, followed by products. So here, the product can be set up from the master data that is imported from ERP. And as already Neetu has mentioned, Simple Retail can be integrated with any of the leading ERPs available and has 50 plus integrations with SAP. And finally, all of the systems configuration under the settings. So let's look up at the Radhika's information with Simple Retail's Customer 360 view. The store manager searches for Radhika, and yeah, this is the dashboard for Customer 360 for Radhika, and the store manager can see everything about Radhika that he actually knows. For example, her last month's purchases, her top category every time she places an order. As you can see on the screen, here vegetables, specifically organic one and the fresh ones, have the highest share of category. And since Radhika loves cooking, this is obvious. And the types of promotions Radhika is most receptive to, as well as her favorite brands. And on the left-hand side, the store manager can look up at the address and contact information, followed by loyalty cards and points, and then followed by offers. These are the offers that Radhika saw on her mobile application while she was placing a click and collect order, followed by the orders that Radhika has placed previously using the mobile app, and her wish list. So in the clienteling scenario, the customer service associate that would be assisting Radhika while she's shopping inside the store with her wish list and the previous item that she had ordered, which will increase the cross-selling and upselling opportunities, which in turn will improve the revenue of the store. Now, let's go to the analytics dashboard. So we capture data across different customer touchpoints and across the processes. And the analytics in Simple Retail gives the store manager the ability to have data points and insights to manage the business and take key strategic decisions. In fact, this dashboard is configurable with more than 150 plus KPIs with a drag and drop interface. And this is specifically custom-made retail-specific KPIs. And by scrolling down, the store manager can see total sales of that specific store, ABC and FSN analysis, and the top successful promotions for his store as well. So as a concluding note, what you have seen in this demo is the ability to quickly use effective system of engagement to manage the changing customer buying behavior far more efficiently and as cost effective as possible. In case you would like to know about Simple Retail in more detail, we would love to schedule a demo with you. We will reach out to you via email and please let us know accordingly. Now, I would like to turn it back to Surabhi for further discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, Shubha. That was a really enlightening and a very wonderful. I'm going to throw the floor open to some audience questions now. I'm going to just connect this with Simple Retail in terms of ERP and other channels. And what is the implementation approach for the solution?
Maybe let me take that one since it's on Simple Retail. See, Simple Retail is built in like, we talked earlier that it's built with pre-integrations with SAP, but it can be implemented with any ERP, right? So it's built in a modular fashion, so retailers can pick and choose what features they want. It has a plug-and-play integration framework, and it is supported on mobile phones, tablets, so it can work in whichever technology that the consumer wants and whichever technology that may be existing within the store as well. What I would suggest based on our experiences is that the goal is to enable that branded experience of the retailer using the technology. So the suggested model that we do is say do a 2-week pilot, right? Pick one of your stores and then do a 2-week pilot to make sure that the experience is fine-tuned to the way that you want to implement for your consumers. it takes you anywhere between 12 to 16 weeks to implement it across all the stores, the full package. But you start with a 2 to 3 week pilot to prove it out in one store, and then replicate that over other stores as
well. Thank you so much. Nitesh, there's a question for you. Since the lockdown phase is now pretty much over and consumers have started going back to shops gradually, how does this impact consumer experience for stores? What will they do now? People don't want to really touch and feel anymore, do they?
Look, as I earlier also said, definitely consumer is in little fear. Consumer is keeping health in mind. They want to keep social distancing. There are customer who's ultra, you can say, health conscious. So in the store, definitely customer do not coming if there is too many people in the store. Customer do not want to touch, where technology is going to help in terms of payment, in terms of checkout from the stores. Click and collect is working very well. Customers are liking to go and collect the things from outside the environment. I mean, not in the store. Customer want that if I can collect the product from a separate place, from a separate area of the store. Customers are looking appointments, if I can get this kind of time, how many customers you are calling at a time, these all questions are coming, right? Definitely also what is happening, customer started looking for a digital help and digital transformation. Everybody what thought will do 5 years ahead is investing now. So digital transformation investment is happening. Also consumer but want a simple way of dealing with the apps or any kind of payments. Remember, customer has a limited space in a mobile. Nobody has Phone Pay, Google Pay, Paytm, all three together in one mobile, because I have to keep between Swiggy and Zomato, I have to keep one Google Pay, I have to keep for apparel this, I have to keep for shoes this, I have to keep Danzo, I have to, everybody has a limited space. My father is 75 years old. Now he started using all this. Before he never used, but he is using what he is liking and what is easy for him to use. And believe me, I have seen myself doing that, or a lot of customer. If there is a bad experience or if things are not easy, immediately that app or that thing is deleted from the mobile. So here are the technology people. I'm sure they are understanding the consumer psyche. They have to give the solution which is a very easy to handle. Still the internet used in India, or data used in India to watch a lot of videos, a lot of music, a lot of these things, right? But thanks to this pandemic, that a lot of technology is coming in the picture, but definitely things has to be easy. So consumer is looking at easy way in buying, going, collecting, or through app or whatever.
So, Madhav, there's a question which says, how does SAP certify products from technology partner ecosystem? How does a retailer evaluate if a partner product comes with a trust from SAP?
Yeah, so whenever partners, like in this case, the journey with Simple Retail took, the products are looked at, and we have a unit in our development organization, which is the integration center, where we give the entire product is tested end to end. So in terms of does it work with the existing landscape, can SAP certify it from a perspective that it will work well with the backend. So it goes through a rigorous process basis which certification happens, and the certification comes with a start and the end date. So it is for a particular version. So whenever there is an upgrade, there's a move or a newer release that, in this case, for example, if Simple Retail comes up with a newer release, it also comes back to the certification center. We look at it all over again, and therefore it's a fairly robust system in place where we ensure that whatever is being endorsed as an SAP product goes with the same trademark and the hallmark of quality that SAP brings.
Neetu, would you like to add something here?
Yeah, certainly. I think this also goes back to I'll tie back to what Nitesh was showing as a challenge to the technologists, right? It's very important for us to do what Madhav described as well, that we create applications that are seamless, tightly integrated, and has that performance metrics that ultimately drives that consumer experience that I was talking about, right? I relate very my dad, becoming a digital user that I never imagined. Thanks to COVID, he pays all his bills at least online now, right? So certainly, how do you design experiences for people who are in different stages of technology maturity in a country like India, where Nitesh already also talked about the fact that there's a huge difference in bandwidth between, say, what the top cities and the tier 2 and the tier 3 cities. How do you design consistent experiences? So that's why when we built Simple Retail, we built it in a modular manner so that you can keep adding capabilities as you move along. We talked about the 2-week pilot because we want to make sure that you design the experiences for based on what works for you. You pick and choose, right? We are all talking today about this composable businesses where you can pull in different capabilities on need basis and orchestrate in a way that works best. So we believe that that's the paradigm, and that's what we are also trying to achieve by launching this platform.
Just a couple more questions. One is a very simple one. It says that is Simple Retail available on both the web browser as well as a mobile app, or is it just limited to a mobile app?
It is available both as a web browser and as a mobile app.
Okay. One last question, I think, Neetu, and then this thing we'll wrap up. How should retailers plan their change from a traditional solution to a modern digital solution, which enables physical brick and mortar stores to deliver the experience that consumers are looking for in this new normal, as far as COVID-19 is concerned?
Very good question. Again, I would, I don't want to make it a technology question, right? Truly, you have to look at your business and how you are serving the customer and what experiences you want to enable, and then relook at the whole business a little bit, operations, to make sure that you can deliver that promise in a consistent way. So designing that whole experience, Nitesh was earlier again talking about the dark stores. That's just one example, right? How pick pack process has now changed the role of the associate itself. So a lot of things have changed. How do you really design that end-to-end experience and use digital technology to enable that and catapult you, right? When you looked at Simple Retail, it's a very different experience. It's almost like, what Uber was able to bring to an industry like, say, cab driving, right? So you are talking about a completely different experience, but are you going to be able to get there on day one? No, maybe you start with a WhatsApp type of a feature, but then that has got its own limitations, right? So you need to decide what experience you want to land, how do you go along that journey, and then work towards that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Sorry, Madhav, go ahead.
Just to add, what happened in COVID was people were reacting because when it came in, nobody knew what it was. Now, having dealt with it and lived with that for 6 months, people are now getting into a mode of how do we live with this now. And a lot of these aspects come into a play when you talk of solutions like Simple Retail, where these are in fact the new normal. And this, in that sense, it's not a transformation anymore. These are essentials, and these are essentials that technology essentials that you need to live with in the new retail business. Has it frozen?
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much for that. Thank you all of you for answering all my questions and audience questions so patiently. And Neetu, a special thanks to you for that in-depth look on how Simple Retail can make retailers work in a nutshell very simple. And for all the audience, the webinar will be available on indiaretailing.com for the next 7 days. You can log in, you can leave your questions for us in the comments box. and we'll try and get back to you on that. Thank you, Kumar, Nitesh, Neetu. Very, very enlightening afternoon. And we hope to see you again and talk to you again soon. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks to everyone.
Thank you.